Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach kicking off a night watching WWE ROADBLOCK, end of the line. For the first time, I think, in a long time, I'm actually able to watch the WWE pre-show, which kicked off with Rusev going up against Big Cass. Honestly, there was not a lot of action in this match. A lot of it was spent with the pre-match promo that Enzo and Cass give before all of their things. The main thing of it is that basically they were trying to paint the picture that Rusev, and Lana have a weird fetish of liking to watch other people with Lana, and that Rusev was a watcher. They said that basically the biggest mistake they made that night was leaving him laying in that hotel because Enzo said that he got up and he was ready to fight, and I didn't understand why it wasn't Enzo going up against Rusev tonight then. But basically, Big Cass stepped into his place. This was a big, strong, physical match from both of these guys. The match spilled out onto the outside, which basically led to Lana being involved and making it a count-out victory for Rusev, who was able to get back into the ring before the 10 count. Basically, Cass was taking care of Enzo on the outside. Lana got in the way, and the referee called for the bell, and it was over. It sort of seems like a cheap little victory. I know with the upcoming Royal Rumble, I'm guessing that this is going to be a television storyline that we're going to see the payoff on. There is a lot of time between Roadblock and the Royal Rumble, so definitely I would think that this is probably going to be a match on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, seeing how a countout doesn't really solve the problems that these guys have, but I'm guessing that even though Rusev, Big Cass, and Enzo are not names that you would think have a chance to really win the Royal Rumble, I don't think this is going to be a Royal Rumble match. Basically, just to sum this all up, I don't understand why Rusev was not the babyface in this scenario, seeing how Enzo was trying to get with his wife on the side and was caught in the act. So I don't understand how Enzo and Cass are not the bad guys in this situation, but we'll have to see what goes down. We got 6 more minutes of pre-show bonanza, and then we'll get into the main show, Roadblock into the line. We'll see what happens tonight. It's over! It's over! It's finally over! We got new tag champions, but that was a fucking awesome match. That was really good. That was awesome. They had a really cool finish at the end, basically, where New Day had kept on using the 3-man advantage throughout the entire match to make sure that they were always in advantage. Kofi Kingston and Big E wrestled the match, but Xavier Woods, he jumped up on the apron countless times throughout the match. One time delivering a big kick. Another time when Kofi Kingston was held in the sharpshooter and he was about to tap out, he jumped up on the ring, and basically he started playing the trombone, which made the referee get out of position to go make him get off the apron. The referee missed Kofi Kingston tapping out, but a very cool thing in the corner where basically Cesaro went to go make a tag into the corner, but never made the tag. And basically, Sheamus came running in, sacrificed himself, took the paradise from Kofi Kingston, and basically after the move was done, Cesaro came in and rolled them up and got the pin. They had a really cool match, lots of reversals. Well over a year for the New Day holding the tag straps, and they're very distraught. They didn't want to lose these damn things at all. Very very funny exchange at the end. You see Sheamus going over and actually hugging the New Day, who did not want to give up the championships. Now Sheamus has taken the titles, and he's going to pose to them like he's the only tag champion. But Cesaro, this is his first title in a long time. And he's going out and he's posing with the crowd, and he's all jacked up, he's all fired up. Sheamus posing with both of the belts in there, and he doesn't care. He's got the titles. He doesn't care about having the fans cheer for him. But Cesaro and Sheamus are starting to work well together. They're a really good team. They're going to have a series of good matches. I'm sure that New Day is going to get a rematch on Monday Night Raw. I'm sure that, the club is going to be in the line. Awesome move right there. It was Sheamus who went for the tag. Cesaro came running in, got attacked by Kofi, And then Sheamus, who is the legal man, came running over and just bam, hit him and rolled him up. 1, 2, 3, a surprise victory. I knew halfway through the match the way that New Day was having to just really pull out all the stops to make sure they had a chance to win this match. You could really tell. But they did it. We got new tag champs. Finally, the New Day's reign is ended. Hopefully now they can get over as not having the championships, not having to win every match, and maybe they won't be as annoying as they've been for a long time. But I'm really pumped. Cesaro and Sheamus is the odd couple. Really has a lot of different directions they could go. A few times I've really thought that they would have been gelling together, but it doesn't look like they're there yet. But let's see what happens. Cesaro's at his belt. He's all fired up. It's the first time he's been a champ in a good long little while. Well, I guess it's been over a year. He was the tag champ with him and Tyson Kidd. So we'll see. Alright, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here. I honestly thought that the Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn match accomplished nothing. It was 10 minutes of Braun Strowman picking up and beating Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn got very little no offense. He survived the 10 minutes. He made it all the way to the end. He did not win the match, but was told he was the winner. He even had Mick Foley come out and congratulate him, basically, trying to put him over as being this ultimate survivalist kind of guy. Mick Foley at one time thought that he was going to make the match end because Sami Zayn had given up too much punishment, but around the 2-minute mark, Mick Foley decided to let the match continue, and he made it to the end. He didn't win. He didn't get a pinfall. He didn't get a submission. It is what it is. I guess that we're supposed to get behind Sami Zayn and believe that he is a true competitor because he survived a 10-minute jobber match against Braun Strowman, and he didn't tap out, and he didn't quit, and he didn't submit. I honestly sort of wish that I would have went and got coffee. I was able to get up and get changed after work, and I put on my new Seth Rollins shirt to feverishly plug my Cyber Monday 2.0 unboxing that I put up on the channel last night. I picked up the Seth Rollins shirt that I've wanted for a long time. I call this the Star Wars version, but I don't know. In my mind, it was a bad match with Sami surviving, but not really getting a win. Probably one of the biggest spots of the night was Braun Strowman running himself through the barricade as Sami Zayn got out of the way at the last minute. But not that exciting. Sami Zayn's going to get a win in the record book, but in my mind, he didn't win anything. We had a very fun, very good match between Jericho and Rollins. I thought that honestly this match didn't have a whole bunch of build-up to it, but I thought that honestly it would be a very good wrestling match. They took this match to basically seal together the storyline of Kevin Owens needing Jericho's help to beat Roman Reigns in the main event. Basically Kevin Owens hasn't been a very good friend to Chris Jericho, cost him the United States Championship on Monday Night Raw. But here we are counting down into the main event, but this was sort of a throwaway match that didn't really mean anything. Kevin Owens came running down to try and distract the referee and try and distract Seth Rollins. Chris Jericho rolled up Seth Rollins, and because of the fact that the referee was trying to get Kevin Owens off of the apron, Jericho had Rollins pinned for at least a 5 count and was not able to capitalize on the victory. Although it didn't roll around to Seth Rollins getting the win right away, but it almost was immediately. Seth Rollins hitting the pedigree on Chris Jericho for the win. Now we have to see if the payoff in the main event is Jericho going to come out and try and help. We saw Jericho come down during the Hell in the Cell match, sneaking in when it was Kevin Owens going up against Seth Rollins. Now that he's going up against Roman Reigns in the main event, I think Jericho is going to come down. I really think that that Jericho at the end of the day, he does believe that even though Kevin Owens is the Universal, whatever, the Universal Champion, he is the Universal Champion just because he has it. I still think that Jericho is going to interfere because he doesn't want to lose that. Plus, as long as Owens has the title, he's close to it. And he needs to overstep Roman Reigns to get a shot at it. I don't think that he wants to fight for the championship himself. So this was a very good match. Nothing really, huge out of this. I don't think the winner or the loser means much. Rollins stays up on top. Still wearing the Rollins t-shirt that I got from the Cyber Monday 2.0 unboxing that I put up on the channel the other day. Link will be down below. But we'll cruise through. We still got the women's Iron Man match, as well as the double champion match of Owens versus Reigns, main event coming at you. Neville has returned to WWE. I've seen WWE tweet a lot about Neville doing certain things, going out and doing sort of meet and greet and sort of doing appearances and sort of like WWE's coming to town and going out and doing all sorts of sort of just getting attention that WWE's around. And I've been wondering, why, Neville hasn't been a part of the Cruiserweight division. I honestly can't tell you if Neville was drafted to Raw or SmackDown. I don't think that he's even been on television due to the fact of his injury. They were just probably trying to figure out a way of using him. But tonight, after the Swan versus Kendrick versus TJ Perkins match, Neville appeared on the stage, and I will tell you honestly, there was nothing really great about the Cruiserweight match. It just was a match. Nothing really happened. It just sort of was filler in the middle of the show. But Neville came down. They talked about the fact that Neville trained Rich Swann in Japan, and they had a history of being tag team partners. But he hit the ring and immediately attacked Rich Swann. This is the coming out party of Neville to the Cruiserweight division. I'm guessing he's going to be one of the main guys on 205 Live. He's going to be probably getting a Cruiserweight championship match faster than anyone else. We've seen the likes of Kalisto staying on SmackDown. Sin Cara is a part of they said that he was signed to the Cruiserweight division, but I don't think he's been a part of the show yet. So not really sure what's going on with that. But Neville, coming out, having his return of being a part of the Cruiserweight division, coming after Rich Swann in the championship all night long, baby. That's gonna be a damn good match. That kid was so pissed.
Oh, that kid reaction.
Oh, man. What a match. What a match going there for Charlotte versus Sasha Banks. You got to tip your hat to those girls. Honestly, with this being Roadblock into the line and this being the Iron Woman match, honestly, I know that you can't go back in time and take the main event away from Hell in a Cell. But honestly, in my mind, this was a better match, and especially with this being end of the line, and this being the last match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks for this part of the rivalry, this honestly should have been the main event of this show. What a great match. I honestly thought from watching it they were going to steal from WrestleMania 12 with Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart in the Iron Man match there, where basically they went 60 minutes without a pinfall before it went to sudden death. My friend Mike, from the beginning, said that this match was going to end in a tie, and I thought that honestly that would just be able to keep the title on Sasha, and because of the stipulation where this is going to be the last match, that they would be able to go in their separate directions, and they would be able to keep Charlotte's undefeated streak on pay-per-view as well, and everybody wins from there. But Charlotte was able to get a quick victory, and then that was followed up by Sasha Banks getting a pinfall as well. And then Sasha ended up getting a tap out to go up 2-1, and that put all of the Charlotte had to go out of the way to make sure she had the good thing. She locked in the figure 8 right at the end of the match as it was going to 30 minutes. Sasha Banks tapped out at the 2-second mark, and nobody really knew what they were going to do. The referee kept on holding two fingers up for the score being 2-2. Obviously, JoJo could look up at the big screen and realize that the score was 2-2. So I don't know why he was holding up two. I kept on thinking he was going to say 2 more minutes is what they were going to go for. And with Sasha Banks already being hurt, she would be easy picking for Charlotte to pick apart. Oh, look at that, holding up the 4. But ends up being that they just went into sudden death. They went for a couple of minutes. It was actually a pretty good end of the match. Sasha's nose ended up just blowing up and exploding. There was blood everywhere. You could tell the WWE was trying to shoot the match, trying to keep the blood out of the site as much as possible. It looks like Sasha's not even going to be going backstage. It's like she's immediately going to where the ambulance is. She's not going up the ramp. She's going off to the side where they normally keep the ambulance truck. But Charlotte gets the win. She's all pumped up. I'm glad that Ric Flair wasn't involved in the finish of the match. I really thought that was the direction that they were going to be going. But now we're set up for Charlotte versus Bayley. Hopefully they will start that tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. My only question is how long they will be able to keep Sasha and Charlotte apart. Obviously, you would think that WrestleMania is 3 months away, and maybe that's enough time that when they go back to it, the match will still be fresh. But this was a really fun match. This was really good. Charlotte gets the win. This is a big moment for her career, having her first real rivalry. If you think about her dad going toe-to-toe with Sting, with Dusty Rhodes, so many. Macho Man Randy Savage, so many, especially Hulk Hogan. And, there was lots of rivalries that Flair had. This is only going to be the first one that Charlotte really had that was really reputable. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Nikki Bella, and I'm not trying to bash her at the end of the video. But, Sasha versus Charlotte was a real feud that they could do a WWE Rivalries episode if they were going to bring that show back. So I'm pumped. We'll see what happens when we go on down the road. But the Royal Rumble, right around the corner. Now I even more feel like the main event should have been the women's match. Just once again, Roadblock into the line ends in just a shitty finish, a lot like the Hell in the Cell between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Once again, Chris Jericho comes in. It's almost like they just sort of won't let this Jericho and Owens best friend storyline die. I honestly feel like it's gone on too long. You could tell that when Jericho came down to the ring during the Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens match that people were ready to finally see it. And Jericho hit the code breaker on Kevin Owens in the corner, and even though it was a disqualification finish, people were happy because Roman Reigns found a way for him to end the match, not becoming a double champion. And I think that is honestly what the fans wanted to see, was the fact that he wasn't gonna win the big one. I don't know why we are still here trying to find out why Roman Reigns cannot get over, but he is still the guy for the last 2 years that people do not want to cheer for. And I don't think it's sort of the John Cena thing. I don't think it's because he's just the guy that everybody loves to hate. It's not like John Cena, where people love to boo the guy, but they still buy his shirts, and he is the reason why people go to the shows, and he is the reason why WWE is as big as it is. I don't know. This was a bad ending to a show that honestly at the very front half of the show was very, very good. I'm guessing that we're finally going to see the Shield reunite in having the tag team match where you'll have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns go up against Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. I'm hoping that is the match that we're going to be able to see tomorrow on Monday Night Raw, because I don't know where you go from here. I know the Royal Rumble is up around the corner, and they'll probably have Kevin Owens. It looks like he's going to be the champion, defending against one of these guys. Maybe even they can find a way to make it where Chris Jericho and them really do turn and have Jericho versus Owens the Rumble. And then you can have Rollins and Reigns all a part of the actual Royal Rumble match. But honestly, in my mind, I thought this was a horrible way to end a pay-per-view, and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth thinking that Roadblock really was a waste of time as the 3-hour commercial to lead us into Monday Night Raw tomorrow. So I know that a lot of these videos, I was pumped up thinking that they were really good stuff. I thought the Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens match honestly shit the bed. There were good spots in it, like when Kevin Owens was doing like the big leaps, sort of landing on Roman Reigns' chest, sort of making it look like, they were saying he was gonna have broken ribs, even though he wears that bulletproof flak jacket sort of deal on his chest. They were saying that they were still, probably going to end up with broken ribs from those. And it did take a lot out of Kevin Owens to deliver that pain onto Roman Reigns. But I don't know, man. I just... The Braun Strowman match versus Sami Zayn didn't do much for me. I think the match of the night has to go to the New Day against Cesaro and Sheamus, honestly, in my mind. That was a damn good match. That was really fun. They're sitting there talking to Booker T on Raw Talk right now. But I don't know. Bad match. Bad pay-per-view. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today as we are sitting here talking about WWE's Roadblock Into the Line 2016 pay-per-view, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns in the main event. I think that honestly, when this goes down over the history of time, the match that everyone will remember is the Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks Iron Woman match that went 30 minutes plus. With an overtime that went almost 5 more minutes to decide the Women's Championship of Charlotte, winning her 4th Women's Championship by beating Sasha Banks. I think that honestly the match of the night has to go to Cesaro and Sheamus beating the New Day, ending the streak of... I can't remember how many days it's been, but they've held this championship 478 days, according to Wikipedia, where they won these championships by beating Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, I believe, before WrestleMania forever ago. I can't even remember the last time that they had... I can't remember when they won them. Whenever 478 days was, I tell you that much. I mean, they beat teams like the Dudleys, they beat the Club, they beat Enzo and Kaz, they beat Cesaro and Sheamus. Almost every team that's gone up against them, they found a way to beat them, or they lost to them in a non-title match, and they didn't have to give it up. So give it up to those guys. They wrestled to a really, really good match. The New Day kept on using trickery, trying to use Xavier Woods on the outside to make it a 3-on-2 match. They were getting away with it, but it ended up being Cesaro running over to make it look like he made a tag to Sheamus. Sheamus stormed into the ring, took a big move, the Paradise move from Kofi Kingston, and then Cesaro came running over as the legal man, rolled up Kofi Kingston for the championship, and it was a sight to see. New Day not wanting to drop the titles, but they finally gave him up, and then they did the whole good guy, bad guy thing with Cesaro and Sheamus, where Sheamus took the belts, and he went and he celebrated with them, as Cesaro wanted to go out into the crowd and celebrate with those guys out there. On the pre-show match, we saw Rusev defeat Big Kaz in a match that basically is setting up Monday Night Raw. Rusev won via count-out, so I'm guessing that this is probably going to be a program that's not going to end on Raw tomorrow, but gonna last for a little while, seeing how the Royal Rumble is a little while away, and I would be surprised if Rusev isn't involved in the Royal Rumble match itself. Sami Zayn wrestled Braun Strowman to a 10-minute draw in my mind, but because of the challenge of nobody being able to last 10 minutes with Braun Strowman, Sami Zayn was crowned the winner. Nothing really big in this besides for Braun Strowman just beating the holy hell out of Sami Zayn for 10 minutes. Mick Foley coming down because he was concerned for Sami Zayn, wanting to stop the match, but Sami Zayn pleaded with him and ended up finding a way to make it through the 10 minutes, and Sami Zayn was crowned the winner. Bad match. in my mind. From there, we go to to Seth Rollins defeating Chris Jericho. Not really much of a match here, but Kevin Owens came down to try and help Chris Jericho. Ended up disrupting Chris Jericho more than Seth Rollins, as Seth Rollins hit a pedigree, and Rollins walked off with the victory. From there, we went to Rich Swann defeating T.J. Perkins and Brian Kendrick, and pretty much a dud of a match. Nothing really spectacular here. The fans were ready to head to the bathroom. The fans were ready to go grab a soda or a pretzel or a piece of pizza. You could really tell the fans in the arena weren't into this. It made it to the point where I really wasn't into it at all. It's almost like the cruiserweight matches have become the new Divas match of today. Rich Swann got it the win, and then we had a returning Neville making his way down to the ring, attacking Rich Swann, as well as T.J. Perkins, taking out everybody in sight, sort of saying that he is the new guy to check out with the cruiserweight division. Neville is a guy that honestly hasn't been doing a lot in a while. I mean, the last high-profile match that Neville had in my mind was his SummerSlam match with the guy from that television show where they took on Wade Barrett and Stardust. So that's been well over a year. Since then, I really can't think of Neville doing anything much, but he has been injured. Even though he did come back from his injury, not really doing much besides for house shows and TV live events. Charlotte Flair won her 4th championship by defeating Sasha Banks. I'm guessing that she'll go the way of fighting Bayley next. And in the main event, we saw Kevin Owens defeat Roman Reigns because of the interference from Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho coming in, hitting a code breaker on Kevin Owens, making it look like they were going in the direction of Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho, but then Chris Jericho grabbed the championship, Chris Jericho grabbed the championship and handed it to Kevin Owens, and then they stood up and celebrated, showing that they had sort of won each other over, and they were still best friends. They found a way to escape the Roman Reigns match and keep the championship between them. This brought out Seth Rollins, who trapped Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho between him and Roman Reigns, and then from there they delivered the double power bomb, Shield style, through the announce table, and the pay-per-view ended. And that was all she wrote from Battleground. Not really that great of a show, but a few good matches. The Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks is one that I hope is on DVD sooner than later, or at least making a WWE rivalries on the WWE Network. I think that'll be really fun. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to a few things from Monday Night Raw, but not a whole lot.